Okay, we're going to put wax resist on the lid. If you look at this, you can see how this is where it matches back up. This is like the puzzle piece. So the lid fits on the container. If you were to have glaze on either side, this is going to heat up and then it's going to stick the lid to the container. Most of the time when you are firing something in the kiln that has a lid, you fire it on top of it because it locks on. Like if I try and move this, it locks on, so this prevents the pot from warping. And warping would be where the wall would either like bend in or the wall would bend out. Okay, and then it would make it where the lid wouldn't sit back on there. Okay, so it's important that the lid gets waxed, and the wax, if you have wax on both sides, then it's going to prevent the glaze from getting there. Okay, now we've used wax before. We've used just the candle wax that's in the hot plate, and so that's one type of wax. That's paraffin wax, and it needs heat to be liquid. This is wax, and this is like in mineral oil, and so this is liquid without heat. And it does allow you to like paint this on. It's less drippy, but it is kind of clear. And so when you paint this on, it is hard to see. I mean, like I've put it right here. It's hard to see that it's on there. Like, I don't know if you can see that it's kind of shiny. Okay. But you don't need very much of this. Okay. You're just going to go through, take a little bit. I would wipe your brush off. And then make sure that you are painting all of the pieces that are upright, right? All of these edges. Anywhere that you get this, you won't have glaze. Okay, so we don't want glaze on these areas. Okay, we do want glaze on this. And so if you get drips that go down this, you won't have any glaze where that drip is. Okay, no matter how hard you try to pick at it, no matter how hard you scrub it, it is not going to come off unless I put it in the kiln and I burn it off. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are going through putting wax on the top of these. You're going to see that it's shiny. I don't know that I can really show you on video that it's shiny. Let's see if I turn this light on. If that helps at all, other than washing it out. No, you can kind of see like right there that it's shiny. But we're going to go ahead and put wax on the container. Okay, so all the way around here. Okay, and then we're going to put that on the lid. And what I have everybody do with the lid, we do this top part, but then you're also required to put wax on the inside. And let me draw with a pencil so you can see. The pencil too would burn off. We need to at least have wax all the way up to this line. Okay, so like the vertical parts of the wall, you would need to have it up here. If you wanted to go ahead and paint the inside of this, you could. Okay, but this wax does require drying time. And so that's why we're doing this today, but we're going to glaze it tomorrow. Okay, so I'm just putting this in here. A little bit of this goes a long way, which is why I've given you some to share at your table. Okay, and you know, slow and steady, make sure you get it on all of that. Make sure that it's shiny, but it's going to be this inside wall, the top of the lid, or I guess the bottom, and then the top of the container. Okay, so I can see that I've made it all the way around for that. So the top here, this part here, and then Same thing here. I would go ahead and let it sit on your table while we continue to work today, at least for 10-15 minutes, and then you can flip it and go ahead and put the lid back on. And then we'll put it on the shelf and then glaze this tomorrow. Just because there is wax on this doesn't mean that you can't get glaze on it, right? So this is going to do the same thing that it does on the bottom. It's going to float on the top of it. It's just going to make it easier to get it off. So when you dip it and you take it out of the bucket, you're going to have to take a sponge and wipe the tops of all of these. Okay, it's just going to make it a whole lot easier. You're not going to have to scrub. Okay, and I can tell you, this is a project. I don't put them in the kiln if I know they're going to stick, but I also don't wipe them off. Okay, because wiping the bottom of the pot off, if there's a little bit, takes 5 seconds. This would take 30 minutes. Okay, if this isn't done correctly, to really probably wipe it off. And so that is something that is something that the student needs to do rather than me, because I don't have 30 minutes to give every single person when I'm loading the kiln. Okay, we got to get stuff back to everybody.